Imagine you're standing in front of a locked door. Inside that room is all the energy your body needs to burn fat, build muscle, and feel vibrant. You have the fuel, but the key is broken. You eat, but your cells are starving. You exercise, but your weight doesn't budge. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's a biological lockdown called insulin resistance. Insulin is often called the master hormone. Its primary job is to unlock your cells so they can take in glucose for fuel. But after the age of 40 and due to the modern diet of constant snacking and refined sugars, your cells start to ignore insulin. They stop answering the door. Your body panics and produces even more insulin to force the doors open. This leads to a dangerous buildup of insulin in your blood, a condition that acts as a growth hormone for fat cells and a silent architect for type 2 diabetes. Most people ignore the whispers, the dark patches on their neck, the sudden fatigue after a meal, or the stubborn belly fat that seems immune to any diet. Today, we are decoding the 10 silent warning signs that your body is locked in an insulin trap. If you have sign number 2, your metabolism is already in a state of emergency. Let's unlock the truth. The most visible sign of insulin resistance isn't just being overweight. It is where you carry that weight. Do you have a protruding belly that feels firm rather than soft? This is visceral fat, also known as organ fat. Insulin is a storage hormone. When your levels are chronically high, your body is in a constant fat-storing mode. It becomes physically impossible to burn fat when insulin is present. Think of insulin like a giant off switch for your fat-burning furnace. This fat settles deep around your liver and heart, releasing inflammatory chemicals that make your insulin resistance even worse. If you have a waist-to-hip ratio that is increasing despite your best efforts, your problem isn't calories. It's a hormonal blockage. This is the check your neck sign. Go to a mirror and look at the back of your neck, your armpits, or the creases of your elbows. Do you see patches of skin that look darker, velvety, or even dirty, but won't wash off? This is acanthosis nigricans. When insulin levels are high, it stimulates the growth of skin cells and melanin at an abnormal rate. This is also why many people with insulin resistance develop skin tags, those tiny, painless skin growths on the neck and eyelids. These aren't just cosmetic issues, they are physical manifestations of a hormone that is out of control. If you see these signs, your body is telling you that your internal sugar processing plant is failing. Do you finish a healthy lunch and immediately feel like you need a nap? Most people call this a food coma and think it's normal. It's not. When your cells are resistant to insulin, they can't absorb the glucose from the food you just ate. Your blood sugar spikes, your brain panics because it's not getting fuel, and your body enters a state of starvation in the midst of plenty. This creates an overwhelming sense of exhaustion. Furthermore, high insulin interferes with the production of orexin, a neuropeptide in your brain that keeps you awake and alert. If you are a zombie after eating, your metabolism is screaming for help. Are you someone who needs something sweet after a meal? Or do you find yourself raiding the kitchen at 10 p.m. for carbohydrates? This isn't a character flaw, it's a survival mechanism. Because your cells are effectively starving, since insulin isn't letting the glucose in, your brain sends out high-level hunger signals. It demands the quickest source of fuel possible, sugar. This creates a vicious cycle. You eat sugar, your insulin spikes even higher, your cells become more resistant, and you crave even more sugar an hour later. Breaking this dopamine loop is impossible until you lower your baseline insulin levels. Do you find yourself waking up 2 or 3 times a night just to use the bathroom? While many people over 40 blame their prostate or a small bladder, it is often a sign of prediabetes. When your insulin is high and your blood sugar is rising, your kidneys have to work overtime to filter out the excess glucose. Glucose is osmotic, meaning it pulls water with it. As your kidneys flush out the sugar, they pull massive amounts of water from your tissues, filling your bladder constantly. This also leads to chronic thirst, a sign that you are literally dehydrating from the inside out because of your sugar levels. Do you walk into a room and forget why you're there? Do you find it hard to concentrate on a task for more than 10 minutes? The brain is a massive consumer of glucose, but it requires a very delicate balance. High insulin causes inflammation in the brain's fuel lines. When the brain becomes insulin resistant, it loses its ability to clear out waste products and process energy. This leads to what researchers are now calling type 3 diabetes, a precursor to memory loss and cognitive decline. Your brain isn't getting old, it's being caramelized by high blood sugar and insulin. Most people don't know that insulin is a powerful regulator of your kidneys' handling of salt. When your insulin is chronically high, it tells your kidneys to retain sodium. Where sodium goes, water follows. This increases your blood volume, putting immense pressure on your arteries and heart. If you have essential hypertension that doesn't seem to have a cause, look at your carbohydrate intake. Often, when people go on a low carb diet, their blood pressure drops significantly within days because their insulin levels fall, allowing the kidneys to finally release the excess salt and water. Following the sodium trap comes the visible swelling. Do you wake up with a puffy face or find that your shoes feel tight by the end of the day? This is fluid retention caused by the insulin sodium connection we just discussed. Insulin also affects the permeability of your capillaries. High levels can make your small blood vessels leaky, allowing fluid to seep into your tissues. If you press your finger into your shin and it leaves a mark, or if your wedding ring is suddenly impossible to take off, your body is holding onto gallons of unnecessary fluid because of hormonal imbalance. Are you hungry even when your stomach is physically full? This is due to a breakdown in communication between your fat cells and your brain. Your fat cells produce a hormone called leptin, which tells your brain we have enough fat, stop eating. However, high insulin blocks the leptin signal from reaching the brain. Your brain thinks you are starving, even if you have 30 pounds of extra fat to burn. This is why just eating less doesn't work for people with insulin resistance. You are fighting a brain that believes it is in a famine. This is a scary sign that many people dismiss as needing a new prescription. Does your vision seem to fluctuate? Is it blurry one day and clear the next? When your blood sugar levels are high due to insulin resistance, the excess glucose enters the lens of your eye. This pulls water into the lens, causing it to swell and change shape. This change in shape alters your focus. If you notice your vision getting better or worse depending on what you eat, your blood sugar is literally warping the shape of your eyes. The good news is that insulin resistance is not a life sentence. Your cells want to be healthy. You just have to stop screaming at them with insulin. Intermittent fasting. This is the most powerful tool. By giving your body 16 to 18 hours without food, you allow your insulin levels to drop to a baseline. This gives your cells a break and allows them to become sensitive again. Apple cider vinegar. Taking 1 tablespoon in a glass of water before your largest meal can reduce the insulin spike of that meal by up to 30%. It improves the efficiency of your muscle cells in taking up glucose. Prioritize protein and fiber. Stop starting your day with carbohydrates. Start with protein and healthy fats. This prevents the morning insulin spike that sets the tone for the rest of your day. Conclusion: your body is a masterpiece of biology. It doesn't want to store fat, it wants to burn it. It doesn't want to be tired, it wants to be energized. By understanding these 10 signs, you are taking the first step to reclaiming your metabolism. Subscribe to Silent Health Signals as we continue to decode the messages your body is sending you. Comment below, I am taking control if you are ready to unlock your metabolism today. Stay healthy, and I will see you in the next deep dive.